After rebooting Mothra of Baragon and King Ghidorah, Toho once again wanted to bring back another popular monster, Mechagodzilla. In the next Godzilla installment, Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. This film has no connection to the Mechagodzillas from the mid-70s, nor with the Mechagodzilla movie from the early 90s. Oh, and it's another reboot of the Godzilla franchise! The 4th reboot in 4 years! Ignoring all predecessors except for the original 1954. However, it does acknowledge other 50s and 60s standalone kaiju films, and the film's plot entails that Japan wants to protect itself from any more monster attacks. So Japan's answer to protect the future is to build a Mechagodzilla, oh yeah! Compared to the other Mechagodzillas, he's a suave, modernized, updated version of Mechagodzilla. It's how you expect him to look. Although I miss the second Mechagodzilla's meaty thighs, oh yeah. But beyond the physicality, he's probably the lamest. He can't fly, at least at first, so the military has to transport him everywhere, and he's only good to fight for a couple hours before his battery depletes. Whoa! And the movie strictly labels him as Kiru. Kiru? Its English translation is Metal Dragon, which makes sense, but then don't title the movie Mechagodzilla! Fortunately, he's the most mobile and agile of the Mechagodzillas, operating gracefully and bombarding Godzilla with punches left and right. Yeah, it's an entertaining fight and loaded with great special effects. My favorite moments are when the monsters are tossing each other about. They're always flying head first, their bodies exactly parallel to the ground. Oh, it's hilarious. And here's something that'll tickle your funny bone. Mechagodzilla is actually built around the skeletal remains of the original Godzilla. But somehow, the Godzilla DNA on the bones triggers its memory from 1954. I never knew bones and DNA can trigger memory, and Mechagodzilla takes control of itself and goes on a rampage! It's so nutty and random! I love it! Unfortunately, this occurs early on in the film, and it's brushed aside and not really brought up again. The monster action is fairly light, and most of the film focuses on the human characters and trying to fix all of Mechagodzilla's bugs. But in that regard, I think it's one of the best. These films have been getting more detailed in showing what goes on in a military and political perspective, where in comparison to the other films, monster shows up, tanks roll in on cue, boom boom, repeat formula. But here we witness what goes on behind the scenes and what emotional turmoil some soldiers can be cursed with, like how the main character's actions accidentally results in some of her fellow soldiers getting killed by Godzilla. Extracting the monster from the scene, this could realistically happen. Many such horrific moments such as this, I'm sure, have plagued thousands of soldiers worldwide, trying to cope and overcome the burden of guilt, or even PTSD. But oh yeah, does she roar back to life, manually controlling a nearly destroyed Mechagodzilla and kicking ass in a 2-on-1 battle against two monsters, Godzilla and her depression. The movie's social theme is that nobody is worthless, and it's moments like these that help regenerate my own batteries, and I reboot myself as not worthless, but as someone who can install awareness programs and fight malware and viruses like bullying and depression that have infected so many. If it happens bit by bit, bite by bite, so be it. And I have Godzilla to thank for that, so I salute him. And speaking of bits, here's a funny bit. The literal Japanese way of saying Godzilla's leaving. Yeah, so tell yourself this. How do you say, in Japanese, bullying and depression's leaving? Yeah, suck it to me! It's a network worth joining!